Hey guys, and welcome to episode 76 of Sounds Like NYC, a podcast dedicated to spotlighting New York City artists. I'm David, and this is Daniel. Our next guest is a Bronx-based musical artist with the ability to sing, rap, and play guitar. He's a self-proclaimed musical artist with no limitations. Right?
Awesome. Yeah.
You can find him on Instagram at Duval Music. Please welcome Duval.
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
I didn't even get your name. You just kind of showed up.
It's all good. I'm Lide. I'm Duval's producer, DJ,
Awesome.
also songwriter.
Yeah. How long have you guys known each other for?
We've known each other for like
High school.
almost like 10 years now.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. Okay.
But like,
Yeah.
but
Same
we've only
like
been,
us.
but like we've always been cool. But we've only started working on music for like 2.5, 3 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 3.
Because I've been working on it a little longer, and then like because I was always cool with him, he always like mentioned that he like wanted to get more into it.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had the time, we just started working, and it's built from there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like,
yeah.
let's talk about your kind of like musical journey. So like, when did you decide to like really put yourself in music and to like,
Yeah.
walk down this path basically?
Yeah, I been playing guitar for like a while since like middle school. Kind of lost it when I went to like a little bit of like through high school and college, but like started to pick it back up, just with buddies in college. And then the plan is to move to New York City and start making music full time. And we always talked about like, you got to get me in the studio. Yeah, we got to work together. And then eventually we just like, started meeting up in like my parents' basement. And then, I'd say like 3 years ago, we started to like actually like make music and put it out. And then over this last like year and a half, started actually like do a lot of studio time, start performing before COVID and stuff, and really start to push the music for what it is. And that's just something that I like to have like a passion about something. Like I want something like to like wake up for and like have a purpose in life.
For sure.
I don't want to, like, I'm not one of those people that just wants to work a 9 to 5 and then like get home and sit on the couch and watch Netflix, which I do a lot of. But I definitely want to like feel like I'm like here for a reason. So
Yeah, no, that's like definitely, I definitely understand that. And like in like a year and a half, you've been doing a lot in just like a year and a half.
Well, we've been doing this for 3 years.
3 years together.
But like
yeah.
as far as like studio production and putting out music like in a professional studio setting and like going to like actual shows and performing on stage, it's been like I'd say like maybe 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you've like regardless, like cause I was like scrolling through your like Instagram earlier, and just like you guys have been doing a lot. So like congrats.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate just like coming to like this amount of level. Just
it's a lot of hard work.
years.
It's
Yeah, I can believe it, yeah.
So like as like a producer, artist, kind of type of like duo, what are some of the struggles or fights or arguments that you guys get into?
We don't really get into like
fights
or arguments. I mean, we'll have disagreements about like a song's direction or how to move about a certain way, but like it's we always like find the common ground. Like we don't really bump heads in regards to like the creative process too much.
He's also really easy to work with, so you can just like say like I'm feeling this right now, and he'll go through like samples and loops and whatnot, and within like a couple minutes we'll have like an idea of whether we're on the right track or if we're not like on the right track. But like 95% of the time, like if I say I want something alternative or I want like an acoustic vibe, like he's got something like ready to go.
Okay, cool. So like,
Are you guys like close friends? Or
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
do you think that like helps or like hinders?
Oh
the
yeah,
whole
absolutely.
process?
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, he knows me and I know him,
Yeah.
so like we be talking a certain way. Where like if it was more of like a professional relationship with like producer and artist, like I wouldn't say certain things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if we're working on something, I'm like, bro, that's trash.
He's like yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you gotta be
you
really honest.
Yeah,
I mean,
you have
it's
to be like
fucking- it's a
friends.
craft, right? Yeah.
You gotta let people know. Like you know what I'm saying? I don't want people to be like, yeah. So it's like it's good to be like having a close knit team. Like everybody on my team, whether it's producing, management, or writing and stuff like that. Like performing wise, like I always have like we have like a close knit group that we
So like speaking of
Yeah, definitely.
So like speaking of which, what is your team like now that you mentioned that? So like how did you form your team? Was it
It's just a group of friends. We had a common friend, Timmy X, Starkiller Timmy X, who's a dope artist, and he was interested in music. I was interested in music. He started to come over. got Lide in there. Then my other friend Tyler, who's my manager now, he he wanted to have a part in the music, and kind of found like his direction with networking and finding us shows, other artists, podcasts like yours, and just he really embraced that. So we're all just our other buddy wanted to be part of it, started taking photos. So now he's got his own photography page and whatnot, and just growing the group. But it's all close friends. Everybody kind of just found like their own niche in the group.
Yeah.
So.
That's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
let's talk about your first album, right?
Yeah, first studio album. Yeah, I had like talking to myself.
Talking to myself, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk a bit about that, because it's very interesting. Just taking a look at your bio, and how kind of listing off your influences. Everybody from the Beatles to Drake and I know
Post Malone.
Yeah, Post Malone.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how that album came together. What was the birth of that album?
That album was just a bunch of music that we didn't really start to label it an album until we had I'd say 5 or 6 songs that I hadn't put out. I put 3 out just to keep the music going. But basically, we started to hear a certain sound, and my whole thing with both my projects, I had a minor EP before this that we just did out of the apartment. But it's really just I want to show my versatility and not pigeonhole my way into a certain sound. I like being myself and unique and expressing myself through different genres. So that's why, I'll listen to something like the Beatles or Stevie Nicks or, Steve Winwood. And then you could also catch me listening to Metallica or Drake or, Frank Ocean. It doesn't really matter. I just really enjoy music and listening to people's art. So that's just why I'm super influenced. And if you've listened to the album, it's, you got pop, you got alternative rock, you got a little bit of hip hop, a little bit of alternative in it. It's just a bunch of little bit of everything. So that's what I'm, that's what we really try to do.
I mean, how do you find who to market to with something as broad as that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I really this year I really started doing research on marketing and promoting and finding certain areas of who's interested, narrowing down whether you're using Facebook ads, YouTube ads, whatever, Google ads, whatever you do. But started to see through some obviously in the music business, a lot of this is
buy plays, promote.
There's a lot of buy plays.
Or people, or sometimes artists don't even realize that that's what they're
Exactly.
doing. They just paying somebody who thinks they're just gonna promote them organically. But
you're paying somebody to buy Instagram ads for you.
Exactly. Yeah. You're paying somebody that's I can put you on this playlist, but then you start to realize the playlist is bullshit and stuff like that. So I really started to
Just buy streams from India or something.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? If you're on
yeah.
SoundCloud and you're doing 10,000 plays on SoundCloud, and then you look up your areas that you're hitting, and 10,000 of them come from India, you're not getting organic plays.
Or you're just really big in India.
Yeah.
You gotta go tour.
Which would be super sick.
Yeah.
But I started marketing out towards Eastern Europe and stuff like that, because I just saw that through my research that people were connecting to that type of genre of music, and then
the Slavs need your music, man.
Yeah.
So they're what's been doing for 6 months now, a little more than that.
Yes.
In regards to marketing to
6 months, 8 months.
It's hundreds of new people who reach out saying, oh my
That's
god,
interesting.
and it's dope. It's strange, but it's dope because a lot of them have broken English too. So you don't understand exactly what they're saying, but you get the message.
Yeah, song very nice, passionate, something it's broken English. But it's cool to connect with fans.
No, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
especially overseas,
For sure.
To the fact that all the way over there, and, Romania, Ukraine, Russia.
Yeah, I had listened to
Poland,
a clip on Instagram of this kid 24 hours, and he said, and and that was probably a mistake and in my beginning of like it, but I was trying to market it to people like in my local area.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why isn't nobody fucking with this? And on this clip, he said, no, your hometown, your local people aren't gonna fuck with you until other people fuck with you. And then once you start to get that like grow over here, all these people will be like, oh, yeah, yo, I've been on Duval, man. Like, that's my boy. That's my boy from back in the day. But like, and you'll get that support, but like, they can recognize that your music's good, but they need to see other people recognize you before they give you their recognition. And like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying?
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
Well, part of it is like I mean, at least like in the circle we're in, a lot like probably half of it is like actual artists, and like even if they don't like say that they're like, even if they don't like come off straight like a hater, there's just like, you know, like people just, you know, like it's because you're essentially like in the same, you know, in the same game in regards to like who's trying to like get up there, and a lot of people think that like, oh, you can't big somebody up too much, or because like that's gonna put me down, rather than like
a zero-sum game.
Yeah, exactly. When people don't realize that, like, for example, like when one like big artist pops in a city, especially in like a city that doesn't have like that big of a scene compared to like New York,
it's like a fucking wave.
there's always like three other people that pop as a result of that person popping.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I'm saying? So like, people don't realize that like there's a ripple effect to that.
Yeah, and New York City is like very competitive, especially
Yeah,
like
it's
in the
very
hip-hop.
competitive. Yeah,
Like it's like
pretty much a point.
You know what I'm saying? So like, and then I try to like that's all part of the growing process, is like going to a showcase, and now you're competing against other artists, and you're supposed to bring your own people there. There's a lot of like, you know, like you start to see it when you're in it, and so I just started to branch out more with like marketing wise, and like, you know, I don't really like need like the local town to like tell me like, yo, your shit's dope.
Right.
I think it's pretty cool when like, you know, people from a foreign country or down south or over in California are like, yo, man, just heard your track or saw your music video. Keep going, made me a fan. Like, that's like, you know.
And even like I do like a lot of production for like different artists like in Chicago.
Yeah.
And people here didn't think I was dope until they noticed me
started
working
popping
with
up.
people in Chicago.
Try it with somebody else, then you can do my shit.
Yeah. I think part of it is like with like local, like not like giving you that credit is because nobody wants to like back something and then it like not work out. You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't want to like invest in your buddy's business and then like be all public about it and then like his business fail and now like you look like you're a bad investor and you know what I'm saying? Like, and then but like so like people aren't gonna be like, yo, your music's dope, I'm gonna like reshare it.
Yeah.
Because they're almost like afraid that like
They're
other
not
people are
gonna
gonna be
pop.
like, people like, bro, like this shit's trash,
Yeah,
and then they're
yeah.
gonna, and then now your name's on of saying like, well, you thought he was cool, like, you know, it's like, I think that people are a little bit afraid of that.
Yeah.
So.
But so like, no, because it's great just like finding, because I feel like everybody's biggest anxiety, kind of like as an artist, is just finding a dedicated fan base. Because you know, once you get like the dedicated fan base, then you know anything is possible. Really, you know.
Exactly.
So there's like so much power in getting that first, you know, maybe like you know, like 1,000 people. You know, followers, or you know, Instagram, Spotify, whatever. And once you have that core audience, then you know the world just becomes a bit more opened up.
Yeah, exactly. 1,000 people give me like $20 a pop. You're getting 20 grand. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. I mean, nobody's sending me $20, but if you want to,
cash out.
Like, how do you guys know like what goals to like go towards? You know what I mean? Like, do you guys like set like concrete, like, oh, this is how many streams I want to get for this song? Like, I want to make sure that it gets this amount of reach on whatever. Like, how do you guys plan that?
And speaking of that, like, can you relate that to the single off of the album?
Yeah, definitely. So like, I definitely set goals for this album and the single, and Lead A and my manager, they're all like, dude, those
Don't
are
set
like
goals. I mean, obviously you want to set a goal, but like don't set like a number.
Yeah, so
like, you
I
just want to do better than your last.
I set numbers, and like they're not matching right now, and I haven't promoted the album like yet, because I want to see like the organic following that I've really. That's what 2020 has been for me, is like building that organic fan base, like you were just saying. It's like, you know, that, which is like more so important. You know what I'm saying? The most important thing you can have is like a loyal fan base where people are checking in, like messaging you. So I set goals with, you know, like I want to have a number of followers after this album. Like after 6 months of releasing this album and promoting it and pushing it, like I want to have like X amount of followers. And or X amount of plays. And I do that, and I never reach those goals, but I'm always one of those people that like, I like to try to like set really high goals. So if I don't achieve like 100,000 streams on the album, at least I got myself to 50.
Yeah.
Because if I had set myself to 50, I probably would have been satisfied when I hit 45.
Yeah.
But, but when I'm hitting 40,000, I'm probably sitting here going, and my goal is 100. I'm going, dude, we're never going to make it. And then I push it for that extra 10 or 20 or 30 in the next 6 months. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather shoot high, like, aim for the moon or shoot for the stars, and something like that.
Yeah.
I'd rather set my goals high. So if I fail, like, I've still accomplished a lot.
Okay,
so.
no, that's understandable.
Personally, I think it should be like the other way around.
Yeah,
but of course, like set your goals like to the moon or whatever.
Yeah. Whatever that's saying.
It's all like all goals really are just like mental games for yourself. You know what I mean? So like if you know that like, oh, I'm reaching for 100, but if I'm cool with getting 50, like I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I did good. Or like if you say, you know what, 40, we just reach for this, go to the 50. I mean, it's still fucking mental.
Yeah, it is. But also like there's some downsides to like setting goals so high, because like I'll sit there and I'll like look at the plays and I'm like, dude, I suck.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you don't. Like, dude, you just did like a couple thousand plays in like a day, and it's like, oh, that's sick. But like, you're sitting here going, dude, I told myself it was gonna be like so much more.
Or even like there's nothing wrong with setting high goals and even not meeting them, but like more importantly, I just think, especially like with music, it's like important to realize that like it's not, this stuff isn't gonna happen. Well, it can, but it's extremely unlikely that it's gonna happen overnight or in a month or in a year even.
Yeah.
You have to just really be patient with it and like correlate that to the goals you're setting.
Yeah. So I guess this would be a good time to listen to the lead single off of your album.
Yeah,
What's it called again?
Told Myself.
Yeah, Told Yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we'll play it right now, and then after we could like talk about about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Boop.
Fucked up, told myself I wasn't drinking no more. Your place, mistakes, how many more can I make? My love is no more, I lost it a long time ago. Your ways always get me in trouble. I told myself I didn't need you.
All right, hey guys, welcome back to this episode of Sounds Like NYC, and we've just finished listening to Told Myself. Is that right?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, so let's talk about that song, kind of like how it came to be and like who like influenced you to
that is the first song that I ever wrote on like an acoustic guitar, brought it to a studio, and then we like made it what it is today. And I just, at that time, like I had it like written on like the guitar, and probably half written, and had the melody all set like in my head, and just really wanted to, like, I knew it was like a good rock song, but I didn't want to play it on my acoustic, so I brought it to the studio. We worked on it for quite some time. Lide like executive produces like all of my music, so if like nothing that I ever release will be without like his ears and his input on it. So we spent a lot of studio time there, just like late nights, getting it all together. Got sick ass drummer Rob on the drums, and Brandon on the production and the mixing. He from up in Westchester, so like just a great team. That was the first song that we all did together with those guys, and just like super excited about that song. It got a really good feedback, and that was like my first song from, I started off in R&B and hip hop, then I went from hip hop to like alternative, and that was like my first like actual like rock song that I would classify as like not hip hop. And it really like that whole song, we went in with like, the goal wasn't a number at that time. The goal was to like really separate myself from a guy else. Like and everybody else. Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? And it takes a lot of talent to sing with auto-tune and write and rap and all that, but I wanted to show that I was more than that, because I want to show that I'm like talented otherwise, not just in the hip hop field and R&B field. I wanted to show that I really like can take this to a whole new level, especially with like live performances and stuff like that. Like the whole goal was, until COVID came, was to like start bringing a live band to these shows and like really like, opening people's eyes. And we had started doing like performing those songs before they were released. And like after the show, it was like everybody would like, come up to me and like come up to us and be like, yo, like you guys are you guys are on the right path, you know. Whereas like when I used to get off and do hip hop, it was just like dope. Like, you know, it's like from another artist. You know what I'm saying? Like it's New York City. Like from another artist, like if somebody says your shit's dope, like that means that they probably liked it. You know what I'm saying? But like after like when we were performing those songs, it was like people were like, dude, this is like, can we work? And it's like, that like it started to feel really good about the music. And I'm not like it's not happening, but I'm really happy with the direction that we're like taking it. I definitely blew past my goal with that. I had a lot of people like reach out and like, dude, I didn't know you had like this in you, and it's like it's cool like to get that recognition.
Nice, yeah, because I was because like one of your you know other you know influences, Post Malone, kind of because like I was like looking at your like Instagram, and like one of the posts from like probably like a year or two ago was just you kind of like singing, rapping over a beat, but it's kind of cool seeing the transition from that to like you including guitar in your songs and like a whole band, and like you could see the transition from like where the video of you having the ukulele playing that like
Billie Eilish cover.
So it's like kind of funny seeing like the tipping point.
That's exactly what it is.
Because he was like I always knew he played guitar. So like when we first started to like get into music, like I started in like hip hop for like you know, pretty much for everything. And then like, you know, I would experiment with like pop and like R&B. So like he was kind of trying to like fit like the lane that I was in while I was trying to like meet him halfway. I mean, we made good music, but like you know, for a while we were like you know, like let's incorporate.
You
like,
were
the
definitely
guitar,
pushing me to
the
use
guitar,
my guitar
like, let's get this
and my
guitar,
singing,
let's get
and I was
more,
like,
rock
nah.
sounds going.
Yeah, so he pushed for that for a while.
Just because I thought it would be like a better fit for him too, you know.
Yeah,
like,
and it definitely is. It definitely is.
Yeah, because as I was saying, kind of like one of your like bigger influencers or like kind of like one of your like influences is Post Malone, who kind of has kind of like a similar story where like before he got famous, he was in the rock scene and stuff like that, but he got mainstream through his rap. But now he's like starting to like reincorporate rock influences, alternative influences into his music. So like, how much do you think? So because Post did kind of like a similar thing to what you're doing now, or is still doing that thing to, you know, to your path right now, like are you taking like a lot of like inspiration from like his journey and story?
Absolutely. I think when Post Malone first blew up, it was that White Iverson song, right? And you know, like immediately, like everybody loves that song. Not one of my top 5, top 10 Post Malone songs. But, you know, you start to look at it and you see the kid with the cornrows and the grills, and you're like, is this kid going to be a one-hit wonder? And I think he, like, kind of finessed the system where he popped on this one hip-hop song, and everybody kind of was like, okay, we know what to expect from him. And then he did Candy Paint Job or whatnot. And, you know, you're like, we kind of know where this kid's going. And then he hit you with his first album, and it's all over the place. And like, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, like, Post Malone doesn't just sound like Post Malone. Post Malone is this sound. You know, Post Malone didn't sound like hip hop. Post Malone sounded like Post Malone. His sound is his voice and the way that he can bend different genres. He didn't pigeonhole himself, and I think that's really important. Like all the top guys do it. Drake can do R&B, but he can hit you with that hip hop, that rip hop, that dance hall. He can hit you with like, you know, like different accents, and like, you know, people will hate on it, but like nobody likes to hear the same song 3 years, 5 years, 10 years in a row. So it's nice to like.
How is it working with somebody like that who just switches up their genre?
Oh, I like that because like even though like I've always been like primarily a hip hop producer, like I've always had like other influences or like aspirations to like dip my foot into other genres, but like possibly like what was holding me back at the time is like I didn't have like an artist to work with, so I can only like go so far. And like even even on my like strictly like hip hop grounded beats, I would always try to incorporate like I started sampling like, and this was like in like 2012. So I started like sampling a lot of like indie, like folk music, which now I feel like that's a lot more popular. But like back then it was a little more like, you know, like left field. So like I always had like other genre inspiration. So like I can keep up. Like if somebody's jumping all around, because usually I'm jumping all around too.
You guys are pushing each other.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, so So let's talk about kind of like the significance of the picture of like the album art.
Yeah,
and,
the
like,
cover art. Yeah,
and like the actual name of like the album. So
Yeah.
like, cause kind of interesting, kind of like the album art. So like, what were you trying to like express through that like album art?
Yeah, so the album art and the title of the song, it really all ties in. Basically, all the songs like as a whole, but talking to myself is like, you know, sometimes in this music stuff I sing about stuff and people are like, oh, I really like this song, and they're not like thinking about the actual meaning of the song, and like, you know, it's sort of like I'm like singing about something and like, you know, people are like, oh, that's dope, and it's like, yeah, but it's a lot deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about like in Breaking Point, which is like probably my biggest song. It's like you're on the verge and like people saw the music video and like they're like, oh, like, is everything okay? Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, but like the song was dope before you saw the music video. Or like the music video for Told Myself. It's like, oh, the song's dope, and then you watch the music video and you're like, oh, this is kind of like it tells a story. And I feel like sometimes like when you're in music and stuff like that, you know, like you'll listen to like Post Malone or Kanye West or like these people, and then like all of a sudden like their lives are public, so now it's like all like, oh, like you're going crazy. It's like, do you not I feel like sometimes in these songs a lot of artists are talking to themselves. It's people are listening to it and saying, oh, you're so cool, you're so dope, like I like the song, but nobody's like grasping onto the meaning of the song. Mm-hmm. And so it's like that's where I got the whole idea for that album. Like we were going back and forth on album names, and like I just kind of wanted to be like talking to myself, like, is anybody listening to this? Because like I know people are listening to the songs, but like, am I just sitting here like telling you guys how I feel? Because I'm not one of these people that makes a song and it's like, and I do make those songs, but it's not like it has a meaning. Each song tells a story. It has a meaning. And for as far as the cover art, like, you know, I had the idea, and Mike, who is Mike and Hunt, Tim Hunt, they shoot the music videos and stuff for me and stuff like that. I had this idea with the cover art of basically my own arms handing me things that are influencing me, like the guitar, a video camera. Like everybody wants you to be on social media. Like, you know, what else did I have in there? A bottle, a solo cup, stuff like that, a microphone, because, you know, obviously like these are all things that I'm surrounded by on a daily basis. And, you know, in the song Told Myself, it's like, told myself I wasn't drinking no more. But like here I am, like drinking again. Yeah. So it's like this whole like, you know, like fighting with your inner demons. And basically sometimes, you know, I feel like I'm talking to myself, you know. It's like I put a song like I Don't Want to Wake Up, and the song is a banger, but like it also is like that, like even that saying in itself, I don't want to wake up, like it's got such a deep meaning. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you know, sometimes I feel like people just listen to the music just to like listen to the music, but and then vice versa, a lot of people will hit me up and be like, yo, I really feel that, like sometimes I don't want to wake up and like do my bullshit ass job, or I don't want to go to this function, or, you know, and I have a lot of like, which is awesome about, you know, tailing back to the organic fan base. I have a lot of people that reach out to me and they're like, how do you deal with stuff like this? How, like, you know, like I really connect with this song. So like it's nice to know that I'm not talking to myself, but a lot of the time it feels like, you know, sort of talking to yourself.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because are you familiar with the band Amberlyn?
I've heard of that vaguely, but I can't name a song, or like if you played it for me, I probably wouldn't know it.
Yeah, definitely. I could like show you the song later if you want to. But one of their songs actually deals with the theme of kind of like, you know, people listening to their songs but not really connecting the actual meaning of that. So I just thought that, hey, maybe people, or like it seems like artists have like this, think about this more than not than if, you know, you're bringing it up as well in your, you know, own music. So that's like a very, it's definitely like you want people, like music is obviously self-expression and a way for people to cope and to deal with, you know, certain traumas or just with like the BS of like everyday life. So
exactly,
like, I definitely understand that needing of wanting to be understood by your, you know, audience.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was really proud of that cover art. I think.
Oh, yeah,
no,
it came
no,
out- it
it's
came
good.
out
It's
really
good. It's
good.
good. Did
Yeah.
you make it yourself?
No, so like I had them make it, but like I came to them with the idea. I was like, this is exactly what I want, and like, you know, it took a lot of like Photoshop because we had to take my arms holding the things and like.
Oh,
put
so
it-
those are your arms?
Yeah, those are my arms. Like I'm handing myself these like
Yeah.
objects, you know, like,
Yeah.
and Mike just absolutely killed it, and then Star Killer just he put the graphics on it, and within like that, it was like blew my mind away. And then if you actually scroll over on that post, you'll see the track list. It's the exact image but backwards.
Okay.
So when I print a CD, you know, like you'll look at the CD and you'll see at the front, and then you turn it, and it'll be the back of my head with all the backs of like
that's cool.
the stuff. So it's like almost like you're looking through
Yeah.
the case.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
You sell a lot of CDs?
Do I sell? I haven't sold a single CD. I haven't made a single CD.
Oh, okay.
But as far as like on like Apple Music and stuff like that, like you get. I mean, as an artist, I could show you guys, but you have like apps that you can track your stuff, like on Apple Music and Spotify.
Right.
And like that Breaking Point song did pretty decent. Like, I mean, I'm not famous, so it's like, you know, like if somebody buys my song, I'm like, oh my god, like you know what I'm saying? Like
pretty
that's
cool feeling.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's
definitely,
almost
yeah, for
giving
sure.
me
But
money
yeah,
for my
people have
brain.
bought the album, people have bought the song, and I really just want to make CDs right now, just so I can like give people like physical copies of
Yeah.
it, just like as a memento, like you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
so that way, hopefully in 5 years, 10 years, like when this is like big time,
Find it
if
in
somebody
a box
comes up to
somewhere.
me,
Just sell it, yo.
find it in like
Yeah.
some storage box somewhere.
Just find it on fucking eBay.
but
for
yeah,
like
yeah,
10 grand.
yeah, exactly. But you know what? If you do buy it for $2,000, then you come up to me and you're like, dude, look what I got. I'd be like, damn, man, that's like.
Give you
That's some love.
Give you $2 more grand.
Nah, I won't give you $2,000, but I'll sign it.
Yeah, so let's talk about kind of like your experience like in New York City specifically, kind
Yeah.
of like with like you know, performing and just like life here. So do you guys live in the Bronx now?
I live in the Bronx.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you're-
yeah, yeah. Live in the Bronx. Just
Okay.
two different parts. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
so how's like so how do you think New York City has kind of like influenced the way you guys live your life or the way you guys do music? Like just like talk about
yeah.
you know the experience of like living in the city.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely influences like everything I do. I don't think I sound like I'm from New York, but I go out of state and everybody apparently knows.
Well, you guys are from upstate, right? You guys are from Westchester.
Well,
Westchester is
but
not upstate.
Well,
Westchester
Yeah, people were like,
Westchester's upstate.
I got everybody here that's watching this from Westchester.
is
You'll know.
definitely
you'll know.
upstate,
No,
bro.
It's
Westchester's
definitely
upstate.
not
No,
upstate.
yeah, it is.
No,
It
it's
is.
not
It is,
bad
though.
that it's-
There's nothing wrong with being from upstate.
There's
bro.
nothing wrong with being from
with
upstate.
it,
Yeah.
but, like,
I go upstate all the time.
Yeah.
Westchester is
it's
not
really not
upstate.
like, but it's really not.
No, it's funny because like we had somebody like in February we interviewed Len and Boogie. They're from Westchester.
Yeah.
So anytime they would say anything about Westchester, like yo, how's upstate like over there?
Yeah.
They just get like
I got people that like grew up in Astoria and and they'll tell me like anything over 125th is upstate. And I'm like, that's ridiculous.
But
yeah, just like talk about life in New York City.
yeah, but I mean, I've always been back and forth between like Westchester and the Bronx because like all my family always lived down here and like my pops lived down there.
Yeah.
I lived down here when I was living in Westchester with mom, so I've always been back and forth. But I mean, it affects like between like how you talk, like you know what I'm saying. Like especially with hip hop, like New York has a pretty distinct sound.
Yeah.
I feel like there were like between like maybe like 2012 and like maybe like 2015, they were still like 16 maybe they were still trying to like find their like new sonic footing in regards to like hip hop, because there's always like the boom bap, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
like I feel like now like the Brooklyn drill sound, is like big on that.
The A boogie sound, like
Oh,
like
yeah,
the Bronx,
true, yeah,
like
Bronx
melody.
like melodic sound.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was from the Bronx.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Highbridge.
Highbridge,
Yeah, he's from the
yeah.
Bronx. Yeah.
Yeah, he's super dope.
Yeah, so I mean, sonically, it always like affects me just because like when I first started producing, it was really hip hop grounded. Like I started like, well, I was like the concept of sampling like was like put onto me from either like New York artist, a little bit of Kanye West, a little bit Kanye fan, but still, but you can. A lot of people even say that, like, I feel like Kanye's production is pretty, like, at least his older production, is like somewhat New York sounding, but like the way he flips samples and stuff like that. I mean, and also just like the way I move, I just be moving. Like I'll go I'll go down south. Like my mom lived down south for a little bit, and just like my pops lives down there now. So like just the way I move, people be looking at me funny just because like I move different or like, and like, you know, people from other cities like don't understand that, but you know.
I feel like it's so much more fast paced.
No,
definitely. You know what I'm saying?
It's in New York,
and it's like, you know, it's definitely New York City is a different vibe. I mean, you know, it's one of those places where like not talking to your neighbor is like etiquette.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
It's expected.
like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like if you're down south, you welcome people into your home. Like, you know, it's like
fuck
my
that.
neighbor for last 3 years,
Fuck that,
we
bro.
say hello and
Yeah,
hold
yeah.
the elevator door open. That's it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
When someone does that here, it's like, what do you want?
yeah, exactly. and I think that goes back to the fast-paced thing of like that New York City lifestyle is like everybody's in such a rush.
Yeah.
That like even stop me on the street to talk to me for 5 minutes is like, don't you see I'm got somewhere to be? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just super fast-paced here in the city.
Like
and-
what's super annoying is like trying to douse those people that like want you to like sign a petition or like something like that. Or like around this area, there's been like kids trying to sell like cologne or something like that.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And it's like
Or
a
people
art
trying to sell their
form
fucking
like
CDs.
swerve them.
Yeah.
You guys ever done that?
No,
okay.
I want
Yeah.
to.
rappers? Nah.
Wait.
That's
I want
fucking
to.
Nah, you ain't gonna
annoying,
be-
bro.
you ain't
No,
gonna
because
be-
they're blanks.
But you ain't gonna be selling them,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Like,
Wait, selling what?
nah, because like,
They're
there's like
selling like blank CDs.
Nah, I'm not gonna be doing
They're
that.
Are you talking about like bootleggers or are you talking about like artists?
No, I'm talking about like bootlegger.
Oh,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
yo, my pops, literally,
Back in the day.
yo, he had like
My dad used to
every
have-
single bootleg movie because like
Yeah.
there was a guy right next to his barbershop that he'll always,
Yo, I remember,
Yeah.
Always-
guys
used to
coming
come-
to the
they used to come
barbershop
in the
and selling
laundromat.
bootlegs.
yeah, and like my pops probably had. Right now, to this day, he has like his TV stand, and like below the TV stand is like a big like swing open thing, like maybe like 400 bootlegs in there,
Jeez.
and half of them are ass. Like just because you know,
remember-
like
See somebody like walking in front of the football.
Yeah. All the time.
And as a kid, I was like, I always thought that was strange, but I didn't know why.
Yeah.
Like, why
People
would
were
the
why-
producer
like,
put
The
that
color
in?
was like a little
Yeah,
different.
it was,
You know what I'm saying?
faded.
It's like,
No,
yeah.
But the first bootleg I think I've watched was of like iRobot.
Yeah. I want to say mine was like the girl with the dragon tattoo or something.
Oh,
like
really?
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
the
It was
most
like-
memorable one that I
It's like a badass chick movie or something.
X-Men Origins Wolverine. But like apparently, and this was like early, but that movie came out in like what, like 2005, 2006, something like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like apparently back then like the movie leaked, but like unfinished, and all the bootleggers got so it was like movie quality, but then
It's
you
just like ended
you'll cut but you'll like cut to the action scene, and it's just like some computerized dummy just like floating through the screen. So like that's what they're supposed to put in.
That's crazy.
Mad funny.
So funny.
Yeah, I gotta see like Taken like a year before it came out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I remember like one of the coolest moments of my childhood was when my buddy he got the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 like 3 weeks before it dropped, and like, dude, it was
Every
like
spots are doing that. The Hut does that.
Yeah,
they'll sell a
yeah.
game like a month before it come out.
Bobby's like, yeah, my dad's got 400 bootleg DVDs. This
The
place
FBI's
is selling
gonna be
video
knocking
games
at
before they
doors.
drop.
Make the Hut.
But that was like one of the coolest moments. Like, I mean, those are like, but like those are things that like you get in New York City. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why like, you know, it's very fast paced. But like, the city like overall is like a dirty. Like everybody's kind of like a little pissed off all the time. But it's like,
100%.
but it's like this weird thing that like you love. You know what I'm saying? And it's like so cutthroat.
It's
like in
authentic.
hip hop, but like it's also like the best place to network.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just so like, you know what I'm saying? I can only imagine growing up in a small town, upstate New York or something like that, like, you know, Albany or something like that. There's only probably so many, but there's probably only so many recording studios where it's like here it's like, you know,
Every bedroom.
yeah,
No, but
exactly.
I even like professional, like, you know what I'm saying?
No, yeah.
No, but it's like right around the corner. I guarantee you, there's like a recording studio within like
There's
a block
one
radius
in here, bro.
No.
Yeah.
Williamsburg is like because I used to like intern at one for like a little bit, but like even walking, you pass this like within kind of like a 10-block radius, there's probably like 5 of them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. It's so
Williamsburg
great.
is it's very like into the arts and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I did. Like, I mean, it's not like I'm moving out anytime soon, but like I would like to spend some time in Brooklyn, like living here, because like I think the atmosphere is so much better here.
Yeah.
But
like
why should you talk
speaking
about the
of,
Bronx, bro?
No, I mean, no, I'm not saying like. I'm just saying like what for me, like what I like to do, like you know what I'm saying,
no,
like.
I'm playing.
No, I mean, it's not
like-
your fault. The Bronx sucks too. I mean,
Bro, nah, we ain't gonna do this, bro. We ain't gonna do this, bro.
I mean, my family's from Brooklyn, so like,
Yeah,
so like
exactly.
your
I mean,
family's
listen.
from the Bronx, so like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Gotta
yeah,
defend this
we
home.
just built different,
Gotta
bro.
defend this home.
We're just
I understand
we're just
that.
built different.
Yeah.
From Brooklyn.
I'm from like Canarsie, so like the only reason people know about that is because Pop Smoke died, and apparently he lived like super close to me.
Yeah, he was
Or
always
sounds like
repping
super close to
Canarsie and
me.
stuff like that.
Yeah, I didn't know,
Yeah.
dude. I didn't know about him until he died, actually. So like,
Really?
Yeah.
Oh damn, dude.
Yeah.
Pop Smoke was like super.
Bro,
lit for,
last
like,
summer, bro, he had the summer on lock.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah,
like
yeah.
Every
6
event
months,
you're
Pop
going in,
Smoke
bro,
was,
like
the
at least
hottest.
3 Pop Smoke songs are playing
I
back to
didn't
back.
know, man. Yeah, but it's sad
You probably
that
heard it,
he
but they
died.
just didn't. It
And
didn't click in your head. Yeah.
Timmy and you were all up on him real early with like the welcome to the party. Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that was like
Yeah.
right when that was like
Yeah.
popping off.
Yeah, but like talking about the things that you guys like about New York City, what are some of the gripes that you have with living here?
The rent? Well,
Yeah.
my rent is pretty low, but I found like a situation. But
Everybody finds like a situation.
yeah, fact,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
they're
the
like,
only way
to live
like my
here.
rent was high, but then I found a situation, like, AKA I found a roommate and split a 1-bedroom or something like that. It's like, you know, but like, yeah, the rent, traffic, and then obviously like
That's really it. For me, though.
I mean, I don't like the competitive aspect of it from artist to artist. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like
honestly, a lot. But like New York, it's pretty hard here. But like that's almost every big city has some factor. of that.
It's just because there's so much fucking noise. Like you
Yeah.
gotta break through it
exactly.
somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I feel like New York is really competitive, at least like musically, because like and like this is nothing against any artist, you know what I'm saying? Like there's plenty of artists that like have that sound, but like I feel like there's less variety in artists in there, and like sonically and how they sound.
Yeah.
Like I feel like New York is like very very much like try to be like, you know, follow the trend sonically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that just, you know, when there's only so many. When so many songs only sound a certain type of way, there's gonna be increased competitiveness.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, our camera just went out, so that's a good sign that like.
Yeah, what do you
time
guys
is-
want to leave with? What do you guys want to leave with?
Yeah. So like, yeah. What are some things that you guys just want to like leave with?
Just if you can listen to the album from front to back, I
That was not on,
guarantee.
dude.
That
You
was
want to look at
on.
the
That
name?
Right there. If I promise you, if you're watching this and you listen to the album from front to back one time, there's at least one song on that album that you will enjoy. It touches multiple genres, whether you like pop or hip hop or alternative. There's something there for you, and if there's not.
You suck.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not gonna say that, but I'm saying like you'll be able to recognize the talent, and you'll be able to see the hard work that really went into this from an individual's perspective and a team perspective.
Right.
We've spent a lot of time, hard-earned money, and a lot of emotions went into this album, and if that doesn't sell you on it, you should just follow along for the journey, because I guarantee you there's going to be more genres and more you know, bending and mixing of different sounds and stuff like that. And I'm just excited for the future. I think that, you know, the fan base is starting to catch on, and, you know, I would appreciate it if you took a listen. So
Awesome.
So yeah, go check out Talking to Myself, all platforms. Duval, we worked hard on it. Follow me. You can follow me.
Bro, plug yourself. Plug what's your at?
It's pretty much across the board at Leaday, so just at LEHDAY. You know.
yeah, and then mine's at Duval Music on Instagram. That's all I use. If you DM me, I will 100% see it and respond. Unless you say some like really mean shit, then I won't respond. So
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank
over.
y'all.
thank you guys for
Yeah.
having us. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Awesome.